All right. So, Tony and Ben, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Asking questions about CBDA. So, first question is
Mhm.
GovCon can often feel like a small world. We find ourselves meeting and connecting and hiring the same people over and over again. And at events
Mm.
across various GovCon associations, the network sometimes feels really small. So, how is CBDA different? Tony, do you want to start here?
Absolutely. CBDA was formulated with the focus being on that we wanted to be able to offer direct connection to our membership as well as the community. So we created a needs and leads. And with our needs and leads, that gives us the ability to directly connect with the industry leaders. We're talking small, big, mid-size, large companies, and you got immediate access to experts. You got folks anywhere that teaches and practices law, CEOs running their companies, program managers is running operations, and of course our BD, business development and capture folks that put a great deal of time into organizations like ours doing the networking for the community. But our needs and leads is the main focus that I think that really separate us from the rest of the community.
I absolutely agree. And I actually personally love getting those in the emails as well as posting. So those are great. Ben, let me ask the same
Mhm.
question to you. How is CBDA different around being able to network kind of outside your normal GovCon world?
So obviously the best answer has already been taken by Tony. More than that, however, is the fact that we pull from not just one agency contractor. So there's not just DoD contractors or DHS contractors. We're pulling from all walks of life. We have speakers from from civilian agency to defense agencies, et cetera, and you're able to really bring in new types of companies to learn, new types of speakers to learn from. And every single event, whether it be the virtual networking event or the in person event, you have the opportunity to meet someone new. I don't think there's ever been a situation which I've ever gone to an event where there wasn't at least one new person. And usually on average, it's usually like 30 to 50 new people, but at least one for sure. That's an easy way to go about it. And so you have that diversity of industry contractors and speakers, and you have the ability to learn from all of them and to potentially team with them or partner with them or to learn something new that's coming down the pipe for your company.
I love that. I'll even add that since I've joined CBDA, typically at an event, I'll add, you know, 30-ish new people to my
Yeah.
LinkedIn every event, which is
Well,
fantastic.
and along those lines, when you go to the virtual networking event, you have the opportunity to meet people nationally, not just the people in the DC metro or the Maryland, DC, Virginia area. And you do have some of them,
Mhm.
nationally coming to our in-person events, but the virtual events, you always have people from across the country.
Yep, I love that. All right. And kind of leading
Mhm.
into that as well. So GovCon is it's a complex industry. We have our unique challenges. So how does CBDA support individuals that are just starting out, whether they're recent college graduates or even experienced professionals that are just looking to transition into the field? Ben, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
thank you, Amber. So for the recent college graduates or those that are transitioning from one position and looking for another position, the networking aspect on CBDA is probably the strongest. Our moderator, our MC for the virtual event, gives an opportunity for any new member to shout out, who they are, what they're looking for, if they're looking for a position, if they're looking for a teammate, if they're looking for, this, that, and the other thing. And the same goes for new people that are transitioning out of a position. Further, the needs and leads aspect that was mentioned before, you can see the companies that are looking to grow, looking to get contracts. And if you're a new company, say you just started your own government contractor, you have that opportunity to potentially team with them on the ground floor, really get in there and partner with them. Of course, there's the networking aspect for CBD in general, where you should be getting out there, talking to people, introducing yourself, looking for a job, information to learn from if you have something bigger planned, or if you're looking for an internship. There's all of these companies that are able to do that, all of which go to CBDA. They're in person, that they're on the virtual, that they're on the emails, that they're on LinkedIn, and it just takes you to reach out.
I love it. Yes,
Mhm.
fantastic. Tony, I'm going to go to you. Anything to add to that?
As I support Ben totally. As he said, our networking capability and the community is second to none. We're full of industry experts. And I think to bring it home, CBDA itself, our board members, we're available. And we encourage, doing our virtuals as well as our in-place dinners, that you get in touch with us. We have someone on our board that can help you from startup all the way to, our like you said, our seasoned membership, folks that are looking to not just start up a business, but to grow the business. We have folks that's capable, that have been proving on our board that we can assist you in any way. And there's always a great referral if we can. So we look forward to interacting with our membership and taking whether, like I said, a startup all the way through to our companies that's been 20 years plus, giving them the support that they need from CBDA.
I think between both your answers, that's exactly how I would have summarized it. It's hosting those training workshops, it's those key experienced speakers on those virtual events, plus to Ben's point, the ability to introduce yourself to the entire network that's joining is valuable as all by itself. But then when you add those experienced professionals, Tony, as you mentioned, who can guide them, new folks, through the complexities of this industry, and our board as those experienced professionals, I think is a fantastic, collaboration to that. Let me go into the next one around, we've all met a lot of fantastic connections through CBDA. I'm curious to know, what's the best connection you've made at CBDA and why? I'm going to say no names, of course, but I would love to know, the circumstance and how that sort of supported you in your career. Tony, I'm going to start here.
Well, the best connection that I've made in my career was CBDA, because as a business developer, one of the things that you pride yourself on, and one of the things that you make a priority, is building relationships. And
Yes,
so,
agreed.
being one of the founding members of CBDA, that was one of the things that we set out to do, and as well as myself, to find out who's in the community, what they're doing, how they're doing it, what's the best practices, and to benchmark yourself off of the best of the best. And so I would say that CBDA has been my best connection, because instead of having to necessarily always pick up the phone or attend a conference, here it is. We have our own community networking opportunity to network with the best during our in-place dinners and our virtuals. So CBDA has been my best connect.
Okay, I don't know how you follow that, Ben. Good luck.
I'm just sincerely disappointed that Tony didn't say I was his best connection that he ever made. I'm hurt. Honestly, right here, I had this whole expectation of what this was, and then I was gonna bring it
That's
back and
that's
say
between
Tony
us.
was, and I'm just gonna pivot now entirely to something else. This is something else. Now, Amber, you're asking an impossible question. I have made so many phenomenal connections, from business partners and teaming partners to really good friends that are like family. And one of those connections, I remember when I first joined CBDA in early 2019, before I even went to an event, I'm getting the emails from Charlie and whatnot to help us all out, and to the needs and leads, which we didn't call it at that time. And at that time, I wasn't in government contracting, but I was able to send that to the people that I knew that were in government contracting, and that increased my relationship with them. So even just the needs and leads, where I was able to provide them something that they didn't have on their own, that increased my relationship with them. Then at some random event, I meet this this lawyer guy who's really just talks a lot, and we hit it off like crazy. And it was during COVID, so it was a virtual event with like different rooms, and I just stayed in that room and I talked with him forever. Well, then I find out that he's in CBDA, and all of a sudden we're meeting all over the place. We've become extremely good friends. He went to my most recent kid's baptism, and he's over when he can be, and then we go out for whiskey all the time. And that's one of the many friends that I've gotten. There's just so many others. Charlie himself, I feel okay to say his name because he's so public, but there are multiple others. I'm not going to say Tony though, because he didn't say me. And the neat thing about it is not only do you gain friends, these are people that can help you on a personal level and on a professional level so that you can, deepen your relationships with your own network and increase business through your partnership and teaming with them.
Okay, I love both answer, and I am really impressed, Ben, that you could really come to a fantastic conclusion, even after Tony shared that his best connection was the entire CBDA organization. So
Right.
that was really
Yeah,
impressive.
after the stab in
Well
the
done.
back, the fact that I was able to pivot from getting stabbed in the back,
Well
I
done.
understand. I'm just gonna cry a
I'm
little.
sending you over hearts and kisses.
Dude, I'm gonna go on mute and I'm gonna cry a little. So just give me
You
a
gotta
second.
love Ben. You gotta love Ben, man.
Okay, I am super impressed by both answers. Nice job,
Yes,
guys.
I did.
All right, so I'm going to ask you both this question of what do you like best about the networking opportunities that you have at CBDA events? Now, I know we sort of touched on this at times where we talked about, the virtual events and the breakout rooms, but let's kind of dig a little deeper as to what networking opportunities that you have and try to be as specific as you can. Ben, I'm going to hit you first.
Can you clarify your question a little bit to be
Yeah,
more specific?
so our networking events obviously typically include whether it's the in-person ones around dinner
Yes.
and our times where we have speakers as well as we separate out, able to walk around the room at many points in the evening.
So what's my favorite aspect of the in-person networking event is basically what
Whether
you're
it's
asking?
in person or whether it's the virtual one where we have our speaker, then we do breakout rooms, then we have a speaker, then we do more breakout rooms. Yeah,
Sure.
talk to me about what do you like best about those networking opportunities?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that CBDA, well, one of the actually there's several aspects of CBDA that's unique and makes them, I think, better than others similar, and that's just my opinion based on a lot of experience, is that we have not just a diverse group of people, but you have the time to connect with them. One of the things that I've always struggled with in other events is that they don't really give you a lot of time to
Mhm.
work the room, to go around, to meet new
Mhm.
people, and they don't usher you at all. Like one of the things you'll always find 2/3 to the 100% of the board members at an event. And if you meet them and you tell them what you're looking for and what you want to do, they're going to go around, and I do this, and I know Tony does this, and everyone I know does this. They're going to go around, they're going to start introducing you to the people they know in the room. There's this whole MC aspect of we're not just there for ourselves. The board members and often the members will literally
Mhm.
take anyone new, anybody that's looking to do something, and go to the people that they know. And since we've been doing this for so long, we know nearly everyone, and we introduce them so that they can make the best connection possible throughout their event.
Mhm.
So that I think is incredibly unique, and the time that's given to do those things, both before and after the dinner event and during the dinner event. It's all about really encouraging the networking between people and to make business happen. And then through that you're going to make friends as well, and you're going to be able to increase your business. And as far as the virtual networking event is considered, it is so well structured that you're able to bounce around and get more time with specific people that is
Mhm.
very goodness, it's very focused so that and personable, so that you're not just in a kind of talking to a big room of people and hoping something you throw against the wall is going to hit. You can actually spend time increasing your new relationships with like I said, like a diverse cast of members.
Yep, I absolutely love that. Absolutely. Tony, over to you.
I love everything Ben said. He's spot on. And I just want to add to what Ben's saying is that speakers, you know, we do a great deal of vetting our speakers and making sure that they're going to deliver and provide our audience, you know, whether it's our virtual or our in-place dinners, information that is valuable. We want them to take away something and not just say, oh, I went to a conference and I may get reimbursed or not, right? But hey, I took away something from this. That guy Ben did a presentation, and I took away some great keynotes for that to take back to my organization or back to my own office for me to work. I think that is so impressive about what we do at CBDA. And also, I love when, like Ben said, when we go into that space where we can network, work the room, and Ben knows how to work a room, right? And so what they'll do is they'll come up to us and they'll be like, well, how can I, and what can you tell me? And I love those questions. As soon as I see one of our members at the network dinner say, well, Tony, tell me more, or how can I, right away I get excited because I know then we've met our goal for that evening. And I just appreciate the membership involvement and keying in on the speakers that's there and the message that they're delivering and being able to take something away. And then after that, having the experts around like Ben to go to and say, hey, can you tell me more about what the speaker said, or how can I get in touch with you, Ben, afterwards? So
I'd
I think that's very
also
important.
like to follow up on what Tony said, which I thought
Mhm.
was beautiful, is especially where he was stroking my ego, is that you can. I don't know as many events in this area that you can really connect with the speaker, like not just while they're speaking. Before
Mhm.
they speak, they're sitting down with dinner with you. After
Mhm.
they speak, they stay around to network with you. You get to ask them
Mhm.
questions, pass business cards, and if sometimes they have a need that they show when they're speaking, you might get a deal done right then and there. And
Mhm.
our speakers are always open to having further conversations with the people. I followed up with several myself after they're done speaking and was able to put some stuff together as well. It's it, that is
Mhm.
that is another unique aspect.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
I think both of those are fantastic. For me, I think that we have real opportunities to partner, learn, and grow. And I think that's exactly what you guys were sharing, whether that's from the speakers, whether that's from our structured networking sessions that we have around helping attendees connect with the right people based on their goals, based on their interests, based on their needs. And I think
Mhm.
that's fantastic. I think both of you kind of hit that perfectly.
If I could
Yeah.
interject, I'd like to add also our breakout rooms on our virtuals. Can be understated how important that is. We normally have 4 to 5 different entities or companies that are involved in the breakout rooms, and you actually get to intimately know for 10 or 15 minutes these individuals and foster many relationships from the breakout rooms that continued on. So our breakout rooms during our virtuals are definitely a great piece for us, for the community as well. And many relationships have been fostered from our breakout rooms during the virtual.
All right. I love that, Tony. And to kind of build on that, last question, how has CBDA helped you grow your business?
Well, that question's for me, and I take it as a carry on. Relationships. People are valuable. They're the most valuable commodity there is. I don't care how much AI you build or cyber infrastructure, or you know, people, people, and people. Being a first sergeant in the Air Force, people was my business. That's our motto, and I've carried that over into my corporate, world. And I understand that making that relationship, that one person that you interact with, could change your life. You're one person away from changing your life, and helping you out and grow in your business. And so I looked at it in the sense that if I took away anything from it, meeting Ben, meeting you, the other board members, as well as the various members that attend our functions, is every one of them that I build relationships with is invaluable.
I love that. And Ben, back to you. How has CBDA helped you grow your business?
I appreciate that question, Amber, and I appreciate the fact that I finally got a shout out from Tony over there. The so before I was in government contracting, it it increased my professional network, which then allowed me to build relationships, professional relationships and personal relationships that helped my business grow. Now, it's been amazing when I made the switch a couple of years ago to actually being in the government contracting industry, how much more I could do with people. And whether you are looking for a job or you are looking to win business, this is obviously one of the best groups to do that with. Within the first year of me switching into the government contracting industry on a business development aspect, I was able to bring in multiple companies to team with. And through those multiple companies to team with, we're able to put down way more RFIs, RFPs, and build teams that are in the top 3 on any and every proposal. Get access to contracts that, not being an 8A, we wouldn't have if we didn't partner with, I don't know if we should name names here, but partner some of the companies that I met at CBDA. And but more than just the socioeconomic, the capabilities. I'm a huge believer in small business. I believe that the small business government contractors do the best job, that they're the hungriest, that they have the highest level of service and quality. And I love pursuing business with those types of companies that know that it's all about building the team together, working together to achieve a common goal. And that is winning business, but it's also serving our country well. And I think that's something you get when you network and team with the CBDA members.
Yeah, that's fantastic, guys. I completely agree between the people, the relationships, and supporting the mission. 100%. I think that's a fantastic way that we support all of the businesses that come our way. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.